What's up, everyone? Sean here, and welcome to an episode of the Hawke Talks. Wanted to make this video to kind of clear things up for myself and the people who follow this channel and stuff like that. And I always want to say thanks for sticking through this far. And I just wanted to wanted to let you guys know how I've been doing with the current situation. So I don't know what to exactly title this video and stuff like that, but because there are some things that are going through my mind, whether it's how I feel about now, how I felt about the past, correlating to the situation, and how I'm going to feel once this whole thing is over and the post outbreak sort of situation. And first off, I'm doing all right for the most part. My city is kind of like on a not a complete quarantine lockdown by any means. I can still go outside and stuff like that, but we are definitely taking a lot of precautions. Like my city closed down or temporarily closed down operations for a lot of like restaurants and bars, and the gym I go to has closed for 2 weeks. It's going to have a 2 week close off for now, or shut down. And definitely it's taken very seriously, as all the other places. It's definitely taken effect for me anyway. But in terms of if I'm affected or not, I mean, I haven't outright tested myself, but for the most part, I don't really feel anything. I haven't showed any like obvious symptoms by any means, but I think I should be I'm okay for the most part. And I think everyone else who I've been talking to or contacting with, working with at work, they all are all okay for the most part. I think it's safe to say that we're all okay, since we've been working every single day since this outbreak has started and stuff. So we've definitely have taken our set of precautions at work. Myself having to work at a warehouse and stuff like that for Amazon. There are some good news out of that when it comes to work related stuff. So I'm getting work time and a half pay. So that means I get a little more a little more cash out of the work I do. So at least I'm getting compensated in some way. But when it comes to like shutting down operations, it's hard to say now, because we are considered a source of food, like a grocery store to that degree. And so we are pretty much are going to be working throughout this whole outbreak for the most part, unless some drastic sort of situation comes about, and to the point where okay, we definitely should close down for whatever period of time. But for the most part, because we have food, we distribute food to our customers. We're pretty much like a grocery store. They're gonna treat us like that. And so I have work pretty much, and so I'm okay on that part. And not only that, I'm getting a little more out of it. So I guess there is some light in the situation, but overall it's been very much a hindrance on my usual activities. I can't even go to the gym and get a full workout, but I will get some home workouts, and get my dust off my dumbbells again, and put those into use for 2 weeks because of my gym closing down for now. So but for the most part, I'm okay. My family's been okay. When it comes to like supplies and stuff like that, we're okay for now. We definitely could use it, after a month, but I think by then it shouldn't be that ridiculous. But there is always that possibility, but we can't, think about that all the time. Otherwise, um, we can't, we won't be able to focus straight or think straight and get anything done. So, but for now, we have our heads high, and we still are able to do the things we mostly do every day. So, I go to work, I come home after the gym, and there are rest days. So pretty much this is like a 2 week rest day. Pretty much, that's how I view it. I've taken a week off of gym, for vacation when I go to Japan or when I go to Vegas for Evo. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like something I've never experienced. I've done it. I've gone through it. I go back to the gym after and, carry on like it's as if nothing happened. And this is pretty much going to be the outcome of things. Once all these precautions are gonna come, settle down a bit. Once places open up again, we're gonna go back to our own thing. So, but again, I want to make this clear. I'm okay for the most part, and I'm still me. So, but yeah, there are some effects I have noticed on the activities I usually do. I don't go outside as much. I don't go out as much because one, I can't go watch movies because the theater is closed, due to the coronavirus outbreak, and they're taking out cautions about it, of course. And so I can't even go watch movies. I can't go work out at the gym. I can work out at home. But, when it comes to the theater experience, I'm definitely missing out because one, it's closed off. Two, they actually, all the production companies and movie companies have delayed all the movies, all the major ones anyway, even if the theater was still open. So either way, I'm not going to the theater. So it's definitely had the effect on those things. But it just means that we won't have movie reviews for a little bit on this channel. But that means I'll be able to focus on like other reviews, like anime or just whatever I watch on my TV screen, or Netflix and stuff like that, or Crunchyroll, Funimation. I have those things, and not that I'm subscribed to Funimation. I am definitely subscribed to Crunchyroll at that, but there's always other reviews I can do. There's other content I can do. There's definitely stuff that I can still do for the channel for the most part. Thankfully, this isn't a movie review channel. I wouldn't want to talk about the coronavirus delaying movies for however long, there's only so much I can do that. So thankfully I'm a gaming channel for most part. That happens to show other like nerd related things like, anime and video games and of course movies and stuff like that, and all that in between, cards, amiibos, the figures, whatever, I like. That's what the channel is all about. And for now, the movies are on a break, and I will miss watching movies in the theater for a little bit. But thankfully, the thing I'm subscribed to for which is called AMC A-List, and we've said it before, but A-List has been a big lifesaver when it comes to watching movies, because movies are one, if you want to watch a lot of them per month, it can get expensive. It's just as an expensive hobby as others, maybe like video games or art, I don't know, even biking or whatever. But it requires money. And but if you do something like this where you subscribe to a membership, and that membership, offers some great stuff and deals, then by all means go for it. Because you're gonna, if you really like that hobby, if you really like that sort of passion or whatever, then yeah, then go, by all means go for it. And A-list is something I definitely loved ever since my discovery of it, along with my friend Danny. And we've been rocking it, man, and save us a lot of money when it comes to watching movies. And but because of this situation, AMC actually went ahead and provided compensation for the time that the theaters are closed. So meaning that until they reopen, our all of our memberships are on pause. They're not canceled. So that means none of the sort of the catches sneak up on us. Nothing is wavered, nothing is whatever. It's just on hold, and we can resume it once they sort of put down the barriers of precaution anyway. So very good on AMC. Kudos to them. Big kudos to them, in fact. I really do like that. Now, of course, when it comes to games, that hasn't really changed for the most part, other than some in-betweens that we don't really think about, which is like the distribution, the employment and stuff like that. But when it comes to the actual games being released, that hasn't changed. Animal Crossing is still coming. Final Fantasy is still coming, unless you bought games physically, because of the shipping is just crazy right now. Things just don't come to you on time, likely, because of the whole outbreak and the demand for just a lot of things online, because we can't go shopping, because everything just gets bought out, or whatever reason. And so Square Enix wanted to make sure in their power that the physical versions of Final Fantasy VII Remake get into the hands of its fans. I am one of them. I pre-ordered mine at Best Buy. I don't know if that increases my chances of making through this and getting my game on time. While it is nice to kind of be in the trend and stuff like that and not missing out, I shouldn't feel, too aggravated or whatever. I mean, maybe I'll be a little soured if it happens, but, given the situation, I should not be angry about it, because I still have, other games coming. Animal Crossing I did buy digitally, just so, because that's the game I really wanted to come. And Final Fantasy is like number 2, and then Persona 5 Royal. Even though, yes, in my most anticipated games as of now, I did say Final Fantasy is my number 1, but I had my reasons that it was number 1, and that's only because Animal Crossing, it was just so close to being released that it's like, why should I even include that in the list other than the honorable mention? It's like, it's already gonna come out, so the anticipation isn't to that degree, because I already know it's gonna come out. I already know what I'm getting myself into, and I know the game's gonna be great. So it's already beyond anticipation. It's gonna be here, and so that's why I wasn't on the list. So, but Final Fantasy, I ordered it physically just because I want the physical copy of it. I want the game cover and all that stuff, the disc and everything, the whole shebang. Maybe I should just cancel the pre-order and then just order digitally, and then just buy the standard edition like physical copy when it's on sale, just so I can have a physical sort of representation, or physical like sort of symbol, something to represent Final Fantasy physically in my hands or in my shelf. But I don't know. That's just me rambling about it when it comes to games. Um, Now, diverting to other things relating to games, sort of, is the FGC. Obviously, there's been a lot going on with the FGC, and it's just been so unfortunate for the most part because a lot of people aren't going because of the events are being canceled or being postponed. We haven't even seen anything else beyond what was already been said for Capcom Pro Tour. They're really, really monitoring the situation, which is good. I think they're absolutely in the right to do so, because the last thing you want in your hands is to be in the newspaper saying that the coronavirus, cases happened here in these fighting game tournaments, and so you don't want to be forever be viewed that way, And so, everyone's taking a lot of cautions and stuff like that. And there is a lot of travel involved. So, the international sort of contact is inevitable. And so, the possibility of spreading it is definitely, enhanced because of that. And so, you do what you got to do. And so a lot of events have been canceled, a number of them anyway, including NCR. A number of let's see, the sports games, of course the sports themselves, sporting events have been canceled for now. The season has been canceled for NBA, MLB, you name it. It's been crazy. This first half of the year is going to be definitely different for unfortunate reasons. But these things happen, and viruses and stuff like that do come about. And the thing is that it could have been so much better of a situation if it wasn't for very certain things. And when it comes to like politics and stuff like that, including the pandemic team being fired and all that stuff, that was like one of the worst things that could have happened. There could have been, and of course, the international side of things, I'm not gonna say how they should do things, but of course, that could have been handled a lot better, I would say. But I guess it is what it is, and it already happened, so it's here, and here we are. So there is a lot to think about. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate where one thing can happen, and it's just like it can like ruin things, and we don't really think about these things like we'll always have fighting game tournaments every year, and nothing's gonna go wrong, right? And this thing happened, but we put a cap on it, we fixed it, everything should be okay, right? But no, the last thing you have on your mind, it happens. You know what I mean? And who would have thought that a virus outbreak like this would happen? Now right at the beginning of this decade of 2020. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. And it's just, especially right at the beginning of the year, like we all thought like World War III was going to happen, but I think something just as worse snuck up on us, you know what I mean, which is a virus. Maybe I'm just exaggerating it. Maybe it's not as bad as World War III. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But all I know is that it's pretty bad, and it's had a severe effect on a lot of things, including the jobs, people have and stuff like that. The events, the entertainment industry is super, super fudged, and you know, a lot of stuff isn't being produced. A lot of movie shoots have been on pause, on hold. A lot of movies have been delayed altogether because of all this. It's so funny because, like, going back to fighting games, Capcom Cup was gonna, or Capcom Pro Tour was gonna do things differently this time around, which was gonna include online events to so that way you can have a chance to be a part of the Capcom Cup with online participation, which is something new. I don't think Capcom has ever done anything like this. But man, what timing! What timing, man, with this happening. So maybe Capcom Pro Tour is just gonna be all online. I don't know. Who knows, man? And who knows what the Olympics will be like, if there is any Olympics, because there's the Intel World Open tournament thing that's happening. It's supposed to be like the Olympic event for Street Fighter. Um, but because of all this, who knows what's the outcome of it? And of course, there's the Olympics itself, just as I talked about, and that's going to happen in Tokyo. And who knows, man? I would not be surprised at this point if it gets canceled, because it's Japan obviously has been affected by it. People have been saying it's from China or whatever and stuff like that. Whether I believe it, I'm not going to discuss that here, but all I know is that China, all of other Asia, including Japan, the Middle East, of course, they're a part of Asia, so especially Middle East because of the weather. Europe, of course, and just the rest of the world, especially Italy, man. Italy sounds like they have it bad, from what the news has been covering. But I'm pretty sure that a number of places are just having it bad as Italy. But Italy is getting the spotlight, when it comes to European countries. And there's been a travel ban and stuff like that for the majority of Europe except for UK for some reason. Yeah, there's a lot to think about, definitely. And going forward, I think, when this is all over, I think the world is going to view things differently. It's given us as a whole a wake up call. Um, and I think, politically speaking, people are going to pay attention again. We've, as a whole, tried to ignore it. We think it was like self-sustaining and stuff like that. We have our own thing and whatever, blah blah blah. So, Trump, so what? That's But I think moving forward, even once all this is all over, things are gonna be different. Not everything is gonna go back to the way it was. There's probably going to be more laws being proposed, and some of them go through, and maybe healthcare might be different. Maybe accessibility to healthcare might be different from this forward. The gap between the rich and the poor might be different. Not gonna say what exactly is going to change, but I feel something is something in our future is going to change because of all this. Things like that have been running through my mind, but at the end of the day, I can still do the things most of the things um I do on a day to day basis, man. There's that meme of people realizing that the quarantine life is just their life in general because they most of the time stay inside their room. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time in this room, or in the house. I'm not the kind of person who goes out to go clubbing or go out to bars. That's like very very special occasions for me. I'm not like a party person or very super like socially active or anything like that. I'm socially active enough. I talk to people, but not to the degree of like a party animal or like um you know, I'm not super talkative, but talkative enough. I'm not the one who starts the conversation or anything like that. But because of the things I do, they all happen to be indoors for the most part, except for photography, except for some things, right? Or when I shoot videos and stuff like that, I like to take a lot of B-roll or like nature shots and stuff like that. Then I'm outside, sure. But for the most part, I'm inside, man. Like I edit videos. I'm on my computer. I watch anime. Guess what? That's on my computer or my TV. I play video games. Guess what? That's also here and here. So now, at the end of the day, for me anyway, not much has changed. But for the rest of the world, though, that's a different story. And obviously, I'm not gonna ignore it completely. I will, keep myself updated as much as I can and see what's going on. Um, and like I said, like things are gonna be different from this going forward. Um, One of my friends kind of pointed it out to me, and I thought about it, and I um, believe it after reading between the lines. Um, there are other things I haven't mentioned yet, like Evo, for example. Evo 2020 is still a thing, I guess, but who the hell knows? Like Las Vegas could suddenly be like, no. Like it can suddenly they just say no, and they're just like, well, fuck, we can't run it. Canceled, man. Sorry. Obviously, they're gonna issue full refunds and stuff. But it still sucks because Evo has always been like one of those things I always look forward to every year, whether it's just for the reveals, the actual tournament itself, you know what I mean? Whether I'm there or here. Long ago, I started watching Evo probably I want to say around 2013ish. I definitely heard about it maybe around like 12, 14 at the very latest, but my first one I've ever gone to was Evo 2015. And the last one I went was, of course, last year, 2019. But yeah, but back to the point, it would just feel so weird still, you know, because it's just one of those things I feel like it's my tradition, having someone, as someone who is an enthusiast for fighting games, the competitive nature of it, the tournaments and all that stuff, all that in between, video games in general, man. But especially those things I said, you know, Evo kind of like brings it all together for me because that was the first tournament I've heard about. I've never heard about all the other tournaments. Evo was the one. Of course, over the years, other tournaments have gone better and better and better, while Evo is kind of like stagnant, if not just very kind of improving just enough to be like, a bit of a smoother experience. But Evo is still Evo, and it's still the most well known tournament, the biggest fighting game tournament around. But there's definitely some competition now, and the competition out there is stronger than ever. But Evo is Evo. Evo is still the biggest one, and so having that possibly being canceled, it's still possible. It actually would honestly feel really weird to me. For over 5 years, man, you know, I've one way or the other, I've caught it or kind of looked into it and stuff like that. Checked it out on the streams, or actually was there. And I don't know. It's just it's kind of hard to explain in like simple words, but it's just a feeling, And if Evo is canceled, then that means there's no Evo, and no Evo means what I'm gonna do in August. I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It's just a weird feeling not having Evo, possibly. Um, E3 has already been canceled, and that already feels weird, man. It's gonna feel really fucking weird in June because that's another one that's all I always look forward to, for past many years. I think ever since like I want to say during the PS3 era, the PS3 generation, I started kind of keeping up with E3, and ever since, yeah, I've been keeping up with it. Every year E3, definitely. But yeah, this year, man, it's a no go because of the virus, and that already feels weird to me. I really do feel like that. In June, when that comes around, it's gonna be really weird. But hopefully, the gaming companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft will have their own digital events. They'll probably stream it and stuff like that. So maybe it isn't completely weird, but just the fact that it's not E3, it's still weird to me. It's still weird. And so if Evo is canceled, it's gonna feel, I don't know. It'll definitely feel weird. A year without E3 and Evo, two things that always happen every single year for someone like me. Man, if it would feel really weird. But yeah, like I said, man, I think even after August, things are going to be different. Something is going to be different for sure. And I hope it's going to be for the better, of course. I hope the next outbreak, it won't be as bad. But, I think by then, we won't have President Trump anymore, and our political climate will like stabilize for the most part. But who the hell knows? Life is always full of surprises, and who knows what's around the corner? Because we didn't think this coronavirus would happen. Who would have thought? Who saw this coming? I can guarantee you, no one. except maybe for the ones who actually unleashed it. I don't know. But that's a whole nother discussion. But anyways, this is just me like rambling about this whole coronavirus sort of lifestyle right now. Just dealing with it. Again, I'm okay for the most part. I think I'm safe to say that. And my family is okay. No one else has shown any signs or symptoms that are obvious. And of course, the rest of my friends are okay. Actually, in fact, my friend Adam was the only one so far to outright test himself, and he's okay. He is not positive for the coronavirus. So, and everyone else within my circle is okay. But it definitely has had me thinking, and that's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to shoot this video, because why not? It's what I do. Make videos for the channel. So, all right. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is like pretty much like a pseudo like channel update, sort of. For the most part, we'll see. We'll definitely have content on the channel. Just not movie reviews for a while. I don't know if I'll have some things to do with Danny or whatever, but regardless, I'm definitely gonna. I can still go play Animal Crossing. That's what really counts for me, personally. And I still have stuff to do, so I'm not gonna go insane or anything like that. I have things to look forward to. Animal Crossing, Persona 5 Royal, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. As trivial as that sounds, who the hell cares? That it's what makes me happy. So that's how it be. So, anyways, if you want to, kind of let things out of your chest relating to the coronavirus, how your lifestyle has been going, regarding to this whole quarantine lockdown sort of lifestyle right now. How are things on your end? You are more than welcome to leave those comments down below. If you want like updates and stuff like that for the channel, or just see what I do outside of YouTube, or just other social media in general, I'm pretty active on Twitter. So if you can follow me at Hawke525. The link will be in the description. I'm pretty active on there. I like retweet a lot of stuff. I just say random stuff. I take pictures and put them on Twitter. Twitter. That's what you do, right? Retweet memes and stuff like that. So, of course, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Really always helps out. Really appreciate it, guys. And again, I want to make it clear, we still have content coming for the channel. However long it takes, you bet you will have a review for Animal Crossing, of course. That's gonna be like the very first big game review of the year. That's still happening. I do want to bring back a certain series called The Rights and Wrongs that I've done in the past. And I think I'm going to do that with Granblue, and everything else I want to do like a smaller review for. I definitely don't want to do like all the big reviews for every single video game or anything like that. I think I'll definitely do that for Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy Remake for sure. When it comes to P5 Royal, that's... I don't know. That's hard to say. But without a doubt, a shadow of a doubt, Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy 7. Oh my god, my tongue is getting tangled up. Will happen. So, and anything else, spontaneous sort of ideas and Hawk Talk videos and stuff like that, just like this one, will pop up. And because I have this little new setup now that will make things easier to just like turn on the mic and turn on the camera and just record. Maybe the footage isn't as clean, but I would definitely take that if that means I can easily get the stuff on the computer and edit and make the process a lot smoother. As much as I would like to record straight from the camera, pull out the memory card, insert the memory card into the reader, and then have the reader upload, or from the reader upload the footage to the computer, wait however long, and then that it's already on the computer. This video is already going to be on the computer. So, and of course, on your screens as well, because this new setup. Because I actually found the cable that allows me to run the camera to the capture card, and I just use the capture software, which is Elgato, and all that stuff. So there's still stuff to look forward to. We'll definitely get through the virus and stuff like that. We've had before with the Ebola outbreak, the swine flu, bird flu, SARS, H1N1, the flu, stuff like that. So, anyways, this has been the episode of the Hawke Talks with how I've been doing with this whole outbreak situation. So, I'm good. I got stuff to look forward to. I hope you guys are good as well. And stay safe out there. Take all the precautions you need to stay safe for you and your family members and your loved ones, friends, everyone you care about. And we'll all get through this together. And always remember, wash your goddamn hands. Sean out.